Welcome everybody. So it's great to see everybody. Just some of you have just popped on just a little bit early. We greatly appreciate that. We always like to see that kind of enthusiasm. And this week's live stream is going to be amazing. So we're Ross and Gary. I'm Ross. That's Gary. And we're your infinite mastery consultants. And we are on a mission to help you conquer financial scarcity and unlock absolute true abundance. So thanks for jumping on early, and we'll be starting the live stream here very, very shortly. So make sure you stick around, because today you get to uncover the hidden forces that have been shaping and defining the wealth and abundance that you experience in your life. And in just a few minutes, we're going to dive into the mysterious dynamics that are influencing the abundance in your life. So stay locked right here, because in today's live stream, we'll show you how to turn these factors in your favor so you can experience more abundance as early as today. Honestly.
That's for sure. So, again, we are Infinite Mastery Consultants, Gary and Ross here, and we're going to be your guides to escaping the scarcity traps that you never saw coming. All right. It is great to see those of you who popped on early. We love to see the eagerness. We'll be starting just again very shortly. Here's a little peek at what you'll be getting when you stick around today. Okay. In just a few short minutes, we are going to get ready to explore the unseen barriers that have been holding you back from true abundance. Right. So if you've ever wondered, why is it not happening for me? Why isn't it happening? Then this is the stream for you today. All right. Because we'll be unveiling the traps you never saw coming, and we'll show you how to escape them. So stick around and discover the secrets to transforming your financial reality, whether it's your first time or you're a weekly regular. Okay, you can consider us your go-to guys for breaking down financial walls and unlocking prosperity.
All right. So it is straight up 10 o'clock. So here we go. So we again want to welcome everybody. So let's begin with a question. Are you ready to unlock the secrets to true abundance and break free from invisible traps? So as we reveal the truth about the two sides of abundance, because today you're going to uncover some hidden keys to prosperity that perhaps you never knew existed. And you have the chance today to completely transform and enrich your relationship with money and abundance. And this live stream works really well in conjunction with the previous one that we did, which is called, Is Your DNA Programmed to Attract or Repel Money? So if you haven't listened to that one, make sure that you find it on whichever platform you're watching on, because we're on a lot of them, and just check it out. And so we'll also drop the link down in the comments and or edit it into the replay, however it might work for wherever you're at. So what if there were unseen forces that were shaping your understanding and therefore your experience of wealth and abundance? Wouldn't you want to know what they are? You learn what you can do to unravel the mysterious connection between your thoughts, your words, and your deeds to magnetically attract abundance and prosperity like you've never done before. So our unique approach we blend the metaphysical with the practical, so we can guide you to your prosperity and all the pathways that come with it. So everyone here has their own situations that they are going through, and we get it. So listen carefully as we share some key components from our masterclass series. Everything in your life is controlled by the choices that you make. And I think one of the most powerful things that is going to serve you is how you become clear of what the controlling force is that controls the quality of your life. We both know it's not the amount of money in your pocket. And I'm sorry to break it to you. It's not who you know. It's not even what you've been through. It's really the choices and the decisions that you make moment to moment about a few things and the choices you make at that moment. And I'd like to pull your attention to just really focus, because in this moment, you're making these choices. First one is, what are you focusing on? Because whatever you focus on, you're going to feel as it's generating an emotion. Think about it. In fact, for most of us here, have you ever focused on something where you were thinking something horrible is going to happen or has happened? And you remembered the pain of that failure, that challenge in your life, and then it never happened? You can always think of crap that hasn't even happened yet and then feel bad in advance. Because whether you focus on where you're going, what you're going to feel, as focus equals feeling. Because when you start to take control of your focus, you take control of your life. And that's why the infinity process exists. And then the second choice is, what do you choose it to mean? You look at something, think about something, focus on it. What does it mean? What does it mean to you? How do you define it? Is this the beginning or is this the end? Is this punishment or a reward? Is the universe trying to hurt me or trying to challenge me? Or has nothing to do at anything about me? I was just being scared child, right? We've all been there. And the meanings that you give to things control your life. For example, if you think it's the end of a relationship, are you going to behave the same way as you think it's in the beginning of the relationship? Or the beginning of the relationship when you're totally in love with somebody? What will you do for them? Tell me, what will you do? So we have the meaning that this is the beginning of the relationship, and this person's the most incredible thing. You will do what for them? Really, think about it. What will you do? Anything when you're in that place, right? You do anything in the beginning of that relationship. And your partner said, I need you to take out the trash or wash my car. Sure, anything you want, because I am so in love with you. Well, then maybe after a few weeks, maybe a few months, or even a few years, one day you're asked to take out the trash, but instead you're like, what do I look like? What do I look like? And you're kind of like, what happened to your passion? Well, I'll give you a clue. Stephen Covey once said to me, if you want a relationship to last, you think, and if you think it's coming to the end, do what you did in the beginning, and there won't be an end. Because when you think it's the beginning, you behave differently than at the end. And the meaning we associate with things controls our entire life. So when you come up with a meaning, then it produces an emotion. And if you want to look at the quality of your life, there's only one way to find out what's really real. How do you feel every day? If every day of your life you got $1 billion and every day you feel guilty or angry, I mean, nothing worse than an angry rich man or woman. You just want to slap them. I mean, it's just like, how do they have the right to be angry? But we find a way. But if you got $1 billion and you're angry and you're pissed off and you're guilty all the time, what is the quality of your life? Because for some reason, we seem to find a way to be miserable. And you can be miserable no matter what you have. Um, you can be you for having nothing. All we know it's true. In fact, it's possible to learn to let go. For example, all if all hell could be breaking loose around you, and you could just be sitting in a chair in a nice centered space. Okay? All nice and centered. And all hell is just breaking loose. We call it the eye of the storm. And you could still feel great. That's right. That's possible. Yes or no? Of course it is. But you and I live in a Western culture. And when you sit and just kind of bliss out, well, people come and take your stuff. They repossess it. It's like, well, we're nice, we're happy that you're blissful, but you still got to pay for this stuff. You still got to work for this stuff. So we have to be good at not only controlling the internal world, but our external world as well. Both. And that is shaped by what we do. And what people do is based on their emotions and also their role models. And those of you who are out there who choose the third to be role models for others, you show, no, you prove to people that success does not mean taking, but rather success can mean truly growing and giving, and that money and the resources and the opportunities are things to be shared and are things that are tools for a quality of life that you're able to enhance for other people and yourselves and your family. It's a pretty beautiful thing. And today, we focus on what it takes to develop that kind of a rich mindset.
Yeah, and the bare bones simplicity of this is, if you can figure out how to redefine your understanding of wealth, you'll actually unlock your hidden potential and step into a life of true abundance. So, for some of you listening, this is going to change your life and you don't want to miss any of it. Okay, now let's get real here first. Okay, the mainstream portrayal of how to get rich is mostly pretty bogus. Okay, we're bombarded with messages that wealth comes from grinding yourself into the ground with endless hustle and hard work, or worse, that it requires shady and cutthroat type tactics. But here's the truth bomb, okay? For real. Sustainable abundance has very little to do with either of those outdated narratives. It all starts with your inner game of your thoughts, your words, and your actions. All right. Here's a great quote that from our good friend T. Harv Eker, who wrote Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. He said, and his quote is, "If you want to change the fruits, you will first have to change the roots." Okay, now listen to that. Okay, if you want to change the fruits, you will have to first change the roots. And then he continues by saying, if you want to change the visible, you must first change the invisible. Okay, now let that sink because there's a lot of wisdom in those two sentences. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your thoughts. I mean, we do this in so many of our live streams, but let's talk about it here specifically around this topic. Okay, think of them as a software running in the background of your mind. Okay, they consistently project images, movies, sounds. They develop imagination and emotions. And these things all blend together and are constantly shaping your beliefs and your perception of reality. And at the core of those thoughts, it's important to understand that scarcity thoughts breed a scarcity experience, while prosperity thoughts open up to infinite possibilities. Okay, so some examples of what we're talking about here is, if you have a thought that's going on, there's not enough money or opportunity. Right? If that's something that goes on, then consider that type of reality. If that's the program, the software that's running, okay, versus the universe is infinitely abundant. Okay, if that was a primary message that was internally programming everything you do or say, or see, or observe, or receive, right? Or another one is, I'll never be able to afford that, right? And a lot of people are, in a position right now where they're, for example, the housing, right? In North America, the housing is crazy in many places. And so if you say, I'll never be able to afford a house in this economy, well, that's the program that's running. That's the software that's running. You never see the opportunities. You never open up for something to come across your awareness through your reticular activating system to say, hey, there's an opportunity right there. But they exist. Versus, right? If you had, I am a magnet for money and it flows to me easily. And again, that's assuming money is the only way you can acquire a home, if we're keeping that same example. Okay, so I'll never be able to afford it versus I'm a magnet for money and it flows to me easily. And what about this one? Well, I was talking a little bit about guilt and stuff and all that kind of stuff earlier. What about this one? If you have a program going on, an internal dialogue, a message, a software running in the background of your reality that says rich people are greedy and or corrupt, right? Recently I heard on the and again, this is judgmental, right? You can have your opinion one way or the other, but I heard someone on the radio broadcast just yesterday or the day before, and he was talking about I'm not going to name the specific person, but a particular fairly wealthy individual on the planet. Okay, and and he says, to be that rich, you got to be greedy. I'm like, wow, that's very interesting, right? And so think of that internal program that's running and what his reality is like if that's what's going on, right? Versus, so rich people are greedy or corrupt. Versus, I deserve prosperity and I create value. Okay, so it's how you have that definition and that internal software running in the background that's going to start to influence what you see, what you say, what you think, what you feel, and what you experience. So the words you speak out loud and to yourself are powerful incantations. I've said this in many different live streams. The words you speak out loud and to yourself are powerful incantations. So whenever you are speaking out loud or to yourself, you are either declaring a reality to be true. Doesn't mean it's true. You're just declaring it to be true. Okay. Or you are invoking one that's going to be true. Right? So your words influence and reinforce your predominant thought patterns and can inspire you into wealth congruent actions or trap you in a loop of lack and limitations. So, we talk about this all the time as well as, in our signature program, the Infinity Process, we actually teach our clients and our students to very systematically and in a very powerful way to actually program highly empowering declarations of reality into their everyday world so that there is a constant, consistent, and congruent communication to your inner and your outer world to take advantage of the many forms of abundance that is all around you all the time. And that's how you can consistently be in the eye of the storm that Ross talked about earlier. Because stuff is going to happen, right? Stuff happens to us all the time. But can you stay in the eye of the storm in the middle of that? Right? Just because someone is well off, like again, this guy talking about this highly wealthy individual, doesn't mean they don't have issues or problems. Their problems tend to be a lot bigger, right? But it's how you handle it that allows you to see yourself through those storms or those troubled waters, if you will. Right? So start to be aware of these lack versus in abundance incantations and declarations that you hear other people say without any, or even that you're saying to yourself, without any hesitation or questioning of the validity of them. Right? So some examples of that is, if you hear yourself saying, or you hear someone else say, "Oh, I can't do that," you got to question, well, how do you know that you can't? Or why can't you? What prevents you? What if you could? Right? Versus an internal dialogue of, there's got to be a way and I'll find it no matter what. Okay? One is leaning towards the lack and limitations, and one is leaning towards the abundance and possibility and infiniteness. Right? Or if you hear, why do I never have enough? Okay, maybe this is resonating with some of you. If it is, let us know in the comments. Okay. Why do I never have enough? Why can't I ever catch a break? Okay. Versus, I'm so grateful for the abundance that I allow into my life. Right? Puts you at the helm, right? Puts you in control, puts you in a place of choice. Being grateful for the abundance that you allow into your life. And to know there's many forms of abundance. We're not just talking money here, right? And then if you yourself or you notice other people complaining about bills, think about that mindset. Think about that programming.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what that's radiating out into the universe as a reflection of the reality you think is true versus celebrating your ability to actually afford the things that you can afford. Because I can tell you, if you're listening to this, okay, the likelihood is you have more resources than a lot of other people on the planet. So you're in a good place. It may not be your best place, but you're in a good place.
That's
So I want you to
absolutely.
start to be aware of what those lack versus abundant incantations and declarations that are going on for you, and notice what's happening, how other people, because when they say it, if you buy into it and you agree, guess what? Now it's yours. Right? Right? It's a collective agreement then. And then you both can find justifications and verification of that reality in life situations. Right? You'll seek them out. That RAS, your reticular activating system, will tune into them. But it's just as true if you have the empowering, abundant in the invocations and declarations going on as well.
Exactly. So, I mean, Gary's talking about the words that you use, and we just did a whole series called The Power of Words that you really should check out. It's a four-part series. It's on our YouTube. It's actually on this page as well. But take it out, take a look at it. It's actually just in a. I'll put the link down below, but it's in a playlist, so you'll find it very enlightening. So, on top of what Gary just said, then there are actions and behaviors and habits that you execute, and this is where the rubber meets the road. And we're talking about your actions and your behaviors here. Your deeds reflect your inner programming and pave the way for increased prosperity and perpetual lack. That's your two sides. You can have an abundance of prosperity, but you can have an abundance of lack as well. Here's an example. Um, investing, savings portions of income versus spending it all. You know, it takes a little bit of discipline and such, especially in this buy world. The keeping up with the Joneses. I might be dating myself, but that's where, you know, the neighbors buy a new car. Oh, I have to get a new car now. You know, your best friend, you know, goes and gets a new wardrobe. Oh, well, now they look better than me, so I have to go get another wardrobe, regardless of whether you can afford it or not. Oh, I got a credit card. Okay, no problem. Okay, it's that, you know, but there are the people who are just like, you know, just not the time. Or it doesn't have to be an all or nothing. It can be proportionate. You know, yeah, you know, I guess I think I could use a new jacket, or I think I could use another new pair of shoes. I think maybe I could use to have my car detailed, or maybe some of the dents taken out. It's a lot better than, you know, $50,000. You can make something look very, very nice. You know, my wife and I a few years ago, you know, we've been in the same place for 25 years, and you know, thinking about, well, maybe, you know, we want to just, you know, kind of do something new. Maybe we'll move. And it was nothing we were moving away from. We were just kind of trying to move to just something different, something unique. And we just kind of started weighing everything out. And I'm just like, you know, my wife came up with a great idea. She was, well, why don't we just remodel instead? You know, we could have virtually a new living situation. You know, take out a couple walls and some carpeting and some tile floors and, you know, new appliances in the kitchen and such like that. That was a lot less money than going out, finding another home, going through all that expense and that work and that labor and that time. When we really weren't leaving, when we broke it all down, and we weren't really leaving because we hated our neighbors or the area had changed. It was just we had just had to adjust our mindset. It's like, why are we thinking this way? Well, you know, this is all getting kind of old. All right, well then let's make it new again. It's like I said earlier, you know, when I was talking about, um, you know, if you feel a relationship is going down, act as if the relationship is brand new. Change your mindset, change your perception of that relationship, change your perception of your business, change your perception of your job, change your perception of your spending. Okay, another one is like, you know, taking some calculated risk to grow versus always playing it safe. And, you know, a lot of people that I know ask me about that a lot. They're just like, well, you know, how can you take that risk? Well, it's a calculated risk. Any any push, you know, to expand is a calculated risk. There's, you know, but we've laid it all out. When Gary and I are making decisions on our business, you know, we're laying out all the different options. Like, okay, well, you know, this and this and this. Let's just balance all of this out and say, okay, do we want to, you know, look at the benefit of it, but it's like, okay, well, there's still that risk that this couldn't work. Rather than just playing it safe, say, oh, you know, I'm just good with, you know, just this doing just this little bit, you know, because we have worldwide plans. Ours is to expand, make big goals, but we're not going to do that big goal all in one fell swoop. You have to have infrastructure in place. You have to have funds in place. You have to have people in place. You have to have so many different things in place. And again, it's all relative to what it is that you're going to do. So taking risks is good. Playing safe isn't necessarily better, but if you're gonna play it safe, then you have to understand that there won't be much in the way of progression. You know, pursuing opportunities that are aligned with your goals is you know, one of the things that we talk about a lot, versus operating from your fear or your comfort zone. I'm just going to stay here because I'm playing it safe. They're pretty close to the same. But you see that opportunity, whether it be an investment or a new job or a joint venture with, with some people that you've met, or, something that you're just like, I've never done this before. Great, expand, but do your due diligence as well. Okay, I've never gone into this area before. I need to take some time and learn about it before you even make your decision. Let me see what are the benefits of doing this. Yes, all right, the benefits are there. Now, how am I going to do it? What's it going to take? What's the investment? And that investment is whether it be dollars, man hours, time, etc. What is all that versus the outcome, the reward for the outcome? When you do the work that we do, we see all different ranges from people. I want to be great. I want to be great. Well, you want to put in the work? Not really. I'd rather just sit on the couch and think about it. I'd rather do busy work so I can say that I'm trying. Well, rearranging the icons on your computer screen isn't necessarily going to get you any kind of expansion. And it happens. This happens a lot. Look at those opportunities. Don't dream, do. You want to cultivate, abundance mentors, people who think like we're talking about. And you want to find the people who do that, have done it, and learn from them. That's why they're mentors, people that you can model after. And they're out there, and there's a lot of them. And there's more than you think that want to help you grow. They want to see other people succeed. Rather than, hanging out at the bar, surrounding yourself with lack-minded people who are complaining about not having enough money, but they can drop $200, $300, $400, $500 a month on beers and pool. Okay, the people that you surround yourself will have a direct influence on where you're going with your life. Okay, and what will end up happening if you become you become that abundance mentor, you're going to attract more people to you who are looking for your help, or literally just want to be in the location with you. They want to be in your sphere, just as you want to be in somebody else's sphere of like-minded people. It's huge, absolutely huge. Because when your thoughts and your words and your deeds are all aimed towards wealth and abundance, you become energetically aligned with manifesting prosperity. It's like planting seeds of intention and nurturing them through your actions. And we speak a lot about actions. You can think about this all you want. You can write about it all you want. It says, and all that is good, but it's only part of the formula. And I'll put a link for that in the description as well, where we go out and we lay out the formula. And the key to the formula is action, real intentional action. But if there's a dissonance where your thoughts contradict your words and your deeds don't match your goals, and I say deeds, actions, and so when they don't match your goals, you stay stuck in lack and limitation. Congruence is the key. You must have congruency between your thoughts, your words, and your actions. It has to be in place. The path to abundance is an inside job first. Mastering your inner world of thoughts and choosing prosperous words puts you in the energetic flow. And then inspired deeds become easier as real world opportunities. They rush in to meet your vibration instead of you adapting to the vibration of those around you who are not in the same mindset. You see, The societal program that we've absorbed has massively misled us about wealth acquisition. Riches don't stem from perpetual grind or unethical means. True prosperity flows. It flows from consciousness and aligned action. When your thoughts, your words, and your habits are laser focused on wealth congruent behaviors and beliefs, you become a mega attractor for abundance. It's like a metaphysical magnet drawing prosperity to you. How does that work? Well, people see you're taking action. They see your movement. They see you're just like, I'm going, I'm a go getter. I'm making this happen. I'm making this happen. And it's not just talk because they're seeing the action. They're seeing the congruency. And those who are successful, they pick up on it just like that. This dude means what he means. He's doing what he says he's going to do. He's not just talking. Have you ever met that person who you haven't seen them in a year, couple years, whatever? Well, how are you doing? Well, I'm still working on, getting this and doing this. I'm working hard on it. Well, what kind of progress have you made? Well, I'm pretty much still where I was 2 years ago. Oh, do you need help? Nope, I got it. And 10 to 1, we see them 2 years from now, it'll be the same story. Okay? There's not a congruency. Now, all of this is not some far out woo-woo nonsense here. Our expanding beyond business mastery program combines these metaphysical insights with rock solid business building and profit generating tactics. I'm serious. It's a powerful and unique 1-2 punch to get you moving forward. Something to think about.
Yeah, and here's the real tea. All right. When it comes to abundance, 90% of the get rich or get wealthy books and the gurus are just plain, in our opinion, wrong. Okay. If their advice actually worked, way more people would be rolling in the dough. I mean, think about it. The amount of wealth generating and wealthy lifestyle type books that are on Amazon alone is ridiculous, right? But for most people, they're most people are still in that state where, especially if you look at what the general consensus is, they feel that they're in this state of being broke, right? Because their thoughts and their actions are misaligned from true abundance. True wealth starts in your mind and spirit, right? Even money guru Robert Kiyosaki says it very clearly in his quote. The single most powerful asset we all have is our mind. If it is trained well, it can create enormous wealth in what seems to be an instant. All right. And that's Robert Kiyosaki. He knows a little bit about money and wealth, just a little bit. Right? Or so it seems. Right? He seems like a pretty reliable reference. Right? And if you don't know who Robert Kiyosaki is, go and check him out because he's got some really great stuff out there. Okay.
Which character?
He's one of those. Yeah, he's definitely one of those that works with you on shifting the mindset. There's technique definitely around wealth creation, but the mindset variable is the key component, as in T. Harv Eker said, as well as Robert says here in this quote. So once you make the inner decision to embrace prosperity consciousness, you've got to bring it into physical reality through purposeful actions. Right? And Ross was talking about some actions a little while ago, but it's purposeful actions. So there's no more running in place on a hamster wheel. Your moves have to be intentional and congruent with your vision. Right? And again, let's not forget, abundance isn't just about money. I've said this already, right? It's about the value you create and the magnetic presence you cultivate. When you start operating from that higher frequency, wealth in all its forms starts to rush into you. So it's time to ditch those limitation based lies and explore a more spiritually grounded approach. Open your mind to these deeper truths about money, and you'll be prosperous beyond your wildest dream in no time. So, those of you that are still on, who's ready to ignite their inner empowered mindset and level up to the abundance they deserve? Give me a hashtag ignite in the comments. Hashtag ignite if you're ready for that. If you feel that you've done the struggles, you've done the what you think you should have done, and it's just not happening, but you want to get to that place where it's time to make that serious shift.
Exactly. And sometimes it can be as simple as embracing the flow of giving and receiving. You know that feeling when someone tries to pay you a compliment, but you bat them away awkwardly? Oh, it's just something I just threw on. Oh, I don't look that good. Oh my gosh, no. Or how about when a friend insists on picking up the check? Hey, let me get dinner tonight. Oh, no. I was just having this conversation with someone last night, as a matter of fact. That feeling that people have because they're so unused to this. And it's something that has been bred into us. And those moments reveal just how uncomfortable many of us are with the acts of giving and receiving. Hey, I used to be the same way. I'll never forget when I really realized this. Somebody gave me a gift just out of the blue. And I was just like, I couldn't say a word. I was just like, I was obviously impressed and I was very grateful. But the awkwardness stayed with me for days. And I had to do some soul searching. It's like, why did I feel so awkward about that? And here's another harsh truth bomb that if you want to unlock true boundless abundance, you've got to get free flowing with giving and receiving. Any hesitation or cringe factor is essentially putting a dam in the universal infinite river of prosperity. I'm telling you, you've got to just get this through. It is so important. There's a lot of organizations that talk about tithing and things like that. I mean, it works. Energetically, it flows. Wealth, abundance is water. It's a river that flows. And when you just like, you just built a dam and you slowed down. And sometimes, in some cases, you redirected the water or you just stopped it. You dammed it up. And that prosperity simply can't flow. The universe reads that energy that you're projecting as, oh, he doesn't like that. All right, I'll just give him more of what he doesn't like because that's where I'm getting the most energy from. The universe is infinitely abundant by nature. It's not stingy or withholding. That perceived scarcity is just an illusion of a conditioned, limited human mind. And when you embrace this truth at its core level, you realize that there's no need to clutch or cling to anything. And you can give generously, trusting that more will absolutely return to you. And likewise, There's zero need to shrink away from receiving with open arms and gratitude. That abundance wasn't yours to begin with. It's simply the universe's natural flow circulating back to you as you allow it in. Stepping into that reverent receivership is key to letting the God, goddess, all that is life force that you know you're always open and ready to receive more with deep gratitude. And that is another key factor. Be grateful for what comes into your life, whether it be $5,000, $5, or 5 cents. The energy is energy. Understand this, get this right. The energy of $5,000, the energy of $5, and the energy of 5 cents, as far as gratitude is concerned, as far as the energy that is exuded from them, is all the same. I've talked with students who, it's like, have you ever walked down, across the parking lot or down the sidewalk and seen money and just stepped over it? Said, oh, it's not worth my time. It's just a penny. It's just a dime. It's just a quarter. That's not worth my time. What do you think that that is? Okay. They just simply said, that's abundance. I don't want it. And that's what they project out. And I'm not talking about just taking and taking like some brat with an entitlement issues. I said, true receiving requires humility and appreciation for the gift, not ego. It's allowing the universe's generosity to move through you, not getting hung up on deserving it or not. And the goal is to reach a point where giving and receiving feel like one unified organic flow. I'm going to give and I'm going to receive. And it's like a reed in the wind, giving and I'm receiving. You're transparent for abundance to circulate in and out freely, not attaching it to your identity, and definitely not your self-worth. Please don't attach that to your self-worth. You are worth it, but it's not an attachment. This is the ultimate abundance allowing state that you want to become your default state of being.
Yeah, and of course, right, this mindset shift isn't always easy, right? We get that. We understand that. Most of us have deeply ingrained or conditioned blocks and funky notions around money that go all the way back to childhood. And, in some circles could say it's generational and it's transferred on through your DNA,
Mhm.
right? But a little self-awareness can go a long way. Start to notice when you start to tighten up at the thought of or the action of giving away time, energy, or money fully, or when you reject compliments and gifts without realizing it, like Ross was talking about. Right? So here are three examples of deeply ingrained or conditioned blocks and even bizarre notions around money that many of us have adopted through from childhood, and some people have accepted as their reality. Right, and along with it, we'll add some empowering alternative mindsets as well. All right, so so the first conditioned block is money doesn't grow on trees. Right? How many have heard that? Right? Hashtag trees. If you've ever heard that in your life, right? Money doesn't grow on trees, implying that money is scarce and something to carefully hoard. Think about that, right? And depending on when you heard that, or how often you heard that, or who you heard it from, that starts to create remember we talked at the beginning that software in the background? It starts to create a background software that starts to run your life, right? But it's not too late. You can change it. We promise. There's a way. Okay, you can reprogram, you can uninstall that old software and install a new one. It's possible. We do it with our clients and students all the time. Okay, so what if you could embody and declare an empowering alternative like this? So instead of money doesn't grow on trees, right? I am one with the unlimited abundance of the universe. Money flows to me easily and endlessly. What if that was going on instead? Feel energetically what that's like. Okay. And then the second ingrained or conditioned block, which I touched on a little earlier, right? Rich people are greedy and or corrupt, right? Well, if that's going, if you're hearing and accepting and agreeing to that, it means you're judging wealth and unconsciously feeling undeserving of it because of the corruption or the greed, right? But what if you could embody and declare an empowering alternative that goes something like this? I embrace ethical abundance. Money is a natural positive force when used for good. Because that's true, right? That's just as true if you allow that to be your inner program. That can be just as true as rich people are greedy and corrupt. Because if you believe that, then that seems true for you, and I get it. You have all the justifications of it. You have your mind seeks out the evidence to prove that right. But if you have a different program, it will do the same thing for something that's empowering as well, right? And third conditioned or ingrained block is, we can't afford that, right? So if you've ever heard your parents say that, or you say that as a couple, or with other family members, or as a collective in your business, that's programming scarcity and lack into your self-worth. Okay. But what if you could instead embody and declare as your reality something like this, an alternative? I am a magnet for prosperity. I attract what I need with ease and gratitude. And to do that, and we talked a little bit earlier, to do that consistently and congruently, right? And the key is to become aware of any of the limiting beliefs that have been instilled from a young age or any time throughout your life that you adopted. Because it doesn't only have to happen when you're young. Sometimes you can pick them up later in life as well. So become aware of them and consciously replace them with new declarations of reality that reflect and invoke universal abundance. And what this will do is it'll reprogram the subconscious to align with an empowered prosperity mindset. And when you learn the infinity process, our signature program, we teach you how to program those kinds of things deeper than the unconscious mind and have it impact your actual DNA coding, which no one else is doing right now, by the way. Right? And what happens with our clients and students is that in times when they used to shrink into lack, they immediately experience expanding into their brightness of limitless wealth and possibilities as a new default. Now, many programs out there, many trainings out there, they try to point you to either an inside or an outside job, right? So you got to work on your mind or you got to work on the strategy. But the unique process create the our unique process creates a coherence with your internal world of reality, or what I've called in the past the internal matrix, right? Creating a coherence with the internal world of reality and your external world of reality or external matrix as you deprogram the old notions and recode your life from a frequency of there's more than enough for me. What would that be like? You're muted, Russ.
Issues here. Thank you. So these are often subtle income and abundance blockers that can catch you by surprise. You have to catch and basically repattern them to break free from them and keep feeling into the truth that you simply a vessel for the unlimited flow of prosperity. And the more that you embrace your divine role in that circulation, the more you'll find many forms of abundance that will pour into your life. So let's ditch any remaining stingy energy and quit boxing yourself into an energetic deficiency cycle of lack and limitation and fear. Because the life of opulent wealth and generosity is so available. I don't care what they say on TV. I don't care what the newspapers say or the internet says. It's there. Somebody's got it, and it might as well be you. And right now, it just never turns off unless you turn it off. That's what this is all about. And in many cases, you're letting other people turn it off for you. You just have to stretch your consciousness to perceive and receive it all. So, who's ready to truly be open and welcoming to those experiences of giving and receiving on the cosmic level? Are you? And if you are, give me a hashtag open and ready now. Open and ready now. State that declaration. I am open and ready now. Because now I want to prepare you for some silent and dangerous traps that drag people into the dark depths of lack and limitation. Let me ask you, do you often find yourself overwhelmed by emotional stresses related to money, like anxiety, and fear, and shame, or guilt? They seem to seep into every aspect of your life. And you're not alone. Many people experience emotional turmoil when it comes to their money, when it comes to their finances and the concept of abundance. And it can have a significant impact on your well-being and relationships. Have you ever had an experience like this? You wake up in the middle of the night, your mind racing and with worries about unpaid bills and mounting debt or an uncertain financial future. You've tried to bury these feelings, but they always seem to resurface, leaving you feeling trapped and powerless. It's like carrying that heavy weight on your shoulders that never seems to lift. Or maybe it's that queasy feeling that rises up and you have to ask for what you're worth. You have to ask. Or that cringe when making a big purchase, even if you can afford it. That's the good old money fear. That's the shame and the guilt rearing their ugly heads. And let me tell you, those toxic emotions are absolutely, absolutely prosperity blockers of the highest order. So we want you to pause for a second and get radically honest with yourself. Do you sometimes feel embarrassment about making lots of money or spending lavishly? You don't have to put anything in the comments. You don't have to say anything out loud. Just feel it into yourself. Yes, I do. No, I don't. But you have to be honest with yourself, not with us. Maybe there's a nagging sense that it's greedy or wrong to be openly wealthy. You see, the thing is that you've probably been culturally programmed with all kinds of interesting conditioning around wealth and abundance.
Yeah, and we've been kind of pointing on some of those conditions, right? But here's the hard truth, right? Unless you're straight up breaking laws, feeling fear, shame, or guilt about money is just useless, right? In fact, it acts like an energetic dam restricting the free flow of abundance that's always trying to rush in. So you've got to do some lack and limitations mindset demolition and release those constrictive emotions once and for all to set yourself free, right? True wealth is an electromagnetic force. And you're the energetic conduit allowing it to move freely. So any resistance or negativity you layer on top just plugs up the channels of that flowing abundance. So the goal is to approach every financial exchange from a place of uncompromised freedom, from ease and self assurance. So that means no hesitation in boldly declaring and claiming your worth. No apologies for lavish, guilt free spending. And definitely no constrictions around the idea of aggressive wealth building. You're just fluidly allowing the infinite supply from your source energy to flow as it was naturally intended to do. Okay, now many of you may think that dismantling those deep seated blocks or conditioned patterns takes a lot of work. It doesn't have to. In fact, in our infinity process trainings, we load up our clients and students with over 20 different methods and strategies to make the process seamless. And one of the most powerful practices is to get radically honest about your anti abundance thoughts and stories. Notice when you're judging rich people as greedy or corrupt, and realize those limiting beliefs are only harming your experience of abundance. It doesn't change theirs. Okay. Right? Right? But it does impact you. So when you're shrinking at the idea of asking for more, it's it's likely just echoes of an old scarcity wound trying to protect you from to protect you or programming at the DNA level. Okay? Because so many of us grew up in a society that intentionally or accidentally conditioned in a program of lack and limitation into the DNA code. It's critical that you have systems and processes in place to consistently shine light on those types of narratives. And once they come into awareness, you can intentionally replace them with an empowered mindset of security, self worth, and flow. Maybe you start declaring that your wealth allows you to be generous and provides opportunities for others. Or that money is simply an abundant positive force for growth and evolution as it flows through the core essence of your spiritually evolving life force. But the key is to reprogram and decode any perception that money or having abundance is dirty, scarce, or undeserving. See it for what it truly is. It's just a natural form of energy that's always accessible and flowing infinitely around us, all around us. No different than the air that you breathe. and you are meant to be an open channel flowing and allowing that life force to move through you, not hoard it or resist it.
Exactly. So when we're talking about all this, it's not, this isn't like you're going to wait until the opportunity for abundance. So understand that all of this is a process of building into that opportunity of abundance so you're ready when it is presented to you. So here's a simple yet powerful exercise to clear blocks around the shame and the guilt of abundance. Okay, whether you think you have them or not, just listen, take notes. Okay, so step one, this is the abundance allowing breath practice. It's 5 simple steps. Okay, step one, center and observe. Okay, get in a comfortably seated position and take a few just very deep centering breaths. Bring to mind any feelings of shame, guilt, or discomfort that you have around money. Don't judge them. They just are. Okay? Just observe. Huh, that's interesting. And then take a few moments to notice what comes into your awareness. And the next step is you're going to breathe in that abundance. And this is so cool. So you're going to inhale deeply and imagine that you're breathing in unlimited universal abundance, like it's a golden light that's flowing in all around you. Okay, you're feeling it coming into your body, filling your lungs. And you now as it's the oxygen and that abundance is in your lungs is being absorbed into your bloodstream. Now it's filling your muscles all the way down to your fingertips, all the way down to the tips of your toes. And you just feel that not only is it all around you, that you are all around. And as you exhale, mentally release any shameful, guilty money feelings, expelling them like toxic, unwanted energy. Just, it's gone. And the only thing that remains is the golden light. So in step 3, you're going to declare your abundant reality and release. Continue this breath cycle. Inhale the abundance, exhale limiting beliefs. And with each exhale, state your declaration of reality to release any resistance to prosperity. Something like, I allow and welcome abundance to flow freely into my life. And do this 3 to 5 times. And the 4th step is to become open to receiving. Now that you've cleared the limiting toxic energy, that you can switch to that heart-centered breathing. Do this by inhaling and feeling yourself receiving and accepting infinite provisions from the universe. And with every exhale, begin to embody the feeling of receptive abundance, taking and giving from the infiniteness of all there is, completely free of any fear, shame, any guilt around abundance that you are connected with. You are an open channel for money, abundance, and connection to source energy. And the 5th step is to integrate and intend. Complete a few more cycles of the heart-centered breathing and feel, or fully feel, the integration of that abundant energy. Now it's part of you. Now set an intention to take this abundant mindset into your day through your thoughts, through your words, your choices, and your actions. Take a few moments and open your eyes and fully centered in your worth. And repeat this practice regularly to release old money shame and realign with the natural flow of prosperity. With each breath, you effortlessly become a magnet for abundance. So let's breathe through that old shame and watch it dissipate into the ether it originated from. There's nothing but freedom and surrender to the divine flow that's ahead. So, who's ready to dance in their worth without apology? Who's ready? Give me a hashtag, I am worth it.
Yeah. And that's an I mean, if those of you that have stuck around, I know we've gone a little over the time frame for a normal, but this is such an important topic, and we really want to give you some solid stuff that not only to think about, but also to actually apply. And that is an awesome, awesome practice for you to add into your day right away, right? And start to notice some results right away. So when you combine that with another practice we teach called the abundance inventory, you can get some truly magical results almost overnight. Right? And we'll be teaching that practice, the inventory one, in our upcoming masterclass, The Ignition Factor, catapulting your business with 6 radical steps. We'll be sharing details about that training very soon. We're actually just waiting for some finalization of the sign registration page. Should come through today, and then we'll be sharing. So if you want to have advanced notification of where and how to register for that, drop a hashtag ignite me, hashtag ignite me in the comments, and we'll reach out to you either later today or tomorrow and give you the information on how to register for that. Okay, so just drop hashtag ignite me in the comments, and we'll reach out to you personally through Messenger DM or in the comments, and we will share that information with you. All right. And another thing preventing you from having true abundance is the idea that was drilled into so many of us from our parents, teachers, media, and even some of our peers growing up. And that is that you can't be successful if you don't make a lot of money. Okay. Now, while money is a variable in success in the success equation, right? It's just a means. It's not the end. And I know you've heard it before, right? Money can't buy happiness. Money can't buy love, right? Yet so many of us stay fixated on the accumulation of more cash. Show me the money, right? Letting dollar signs blind us from our deeper motivations. But true prosperity has nothing to do with hoarding funds like a screw in a Scrooge-like vault. It's about aligning with an energy flow that allows you to manifest all your heart's desires. The experiences, emotions, and rich fulfillment of having anything and everything you want. Money is just the thing that facilitates those experiences. That's it. One of the ways, not the only way. It's just one of the ways to facilitate those experiences. Because when you tap into the different sources of abundance, it doesn't have to just come from money. All right. But first, we have to get radically honest here, right? You don't really want money itself, do you? It's just paper with printed stuff on it. Money is just a natural resource, an unnatural resource that we've created, an energetic means of exchange. So, what you likely crave are the feelings you associate with having plenty of it, whether it's freedom, security, abundance, maybe even status or power. Right? This is where you got to be radically honest with yourself. What is it that you're craving? What are the feelings that you're craving? But focusing solely on the dollar amounts is putting the proverbial cart before the horse. The most influential, wealthy leaders aren't obsessed over growing piles of cash. they've embodied, whether there was consciously or through their upbringing, they've embodied prosperity as a state of being that naturally attracts monetary flow. And we're talking visionaries, artists, and entrepreneurs who've tapped into the energy of infinite abundance fueled by inspired purpose. And that's what we want to ignite in you in that upcoming masterclass. Right? So again, make sure you don't miss out on that training. Drop a hashtag Ignite Me if you want to get advanced notification of the details or direct information, because it's coming up real soon. Hashtag Ignite Me in the comments, whether you're on the live or whether you're watching the replay, drop it. We will come back and check for that. And anyone that does, and we will send you advance notice.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's talk about those visionaries and the artists and the entrepreneurs. Money is simply the byproduct of living an impassioned, fulfilling life aligned with their truths. It effortlessly rushes in to support their grand visions and exciting plans. It's not the end goal itself. The vision and the plans were the goal. This is what you really, really need to really comprehend. It's just a pleasurable side effect of creating value that lights them up. This is the paradigm shift that can truly change everything for you. Pay attention here. Instead of chasing money itself, because most of those people are not happy, get deeply clear on the rich experiences and the feelings, like we started this whole live stream with. The feelings that truly motivate you at your core. Maybe it's the thrill of globetrotting at will, the tranquility of financial freedom, the pride of providing generously for loved ones. Whatever your core desire feelings are, anchor into that vibration first. Step one. Actually, it's step 1A, because you need to get down and dirty and detailed about what that core desire is. And then anchor to that. And from that energized frequency, you'll naturally attract the perfect avenues for prosperous flow. Whether that's a wildly successful business, invested wealth, or extraordinary opportunities. But you've put the main thing as the vibrational experience that you desire, your fulfillment, expressed through the genius and the brilliance. That's all you. Money's just the grateful supporter. It's the cheerleader. It's the unit of measure. It's allowing you to amp up that expression of delightful form. It's no longer the be all end all. More like a bonus treat that deliciously complements the decadent main course of your passion fueled purpose. So eliminate those dusty, narrow ambitions of just getting rich for riches' sake, because it gets boring. That's a small fry rookie move. You're here to dream up the life and experience that awakens every cell within you, and then go out boldly and create it. With prosperity as you cheerful assistant. Let your bliss be the inspiration, and watch abundance eagerly serve your majestic narrative. It's so cool.
Yeah, so real talk here, right? What we're saying is that the pursuit of prosperity isn't just about fattening your bank account at its core, right? It's a direct line to experiencing higher states of consciousness and rapid personal evolution. So we're actually talking about a whole being expansion.
Yeah.
See, most of us, most of humanity is still operating from the animalistic survival mentality wired by our ancient ancestors. Sure, right? And that programming served us well when mere existence was a struggle. But in modern times, that fear-based scarcity mindset is straight up limiting our infinite potential. Collectively, we've gone through times of deep and profound transformation, and transformation is great, but evolution is better. And that's where we believe that we are now at on this version of the planet, in this collective consciousness. It's not about transformation anymore. The days of transformation are done. What we need now is evolution. And true prosperity demands that we shed those reptilian thought patterns and tap into something far greater. The boundless field of abundance that's woven into the universe's very fabric. And engaging in prosperous business and wealth creation is one of the purest paths to awakening to that profound truth, at least in my experience. All right? Think about it. Conducting successful entrepreneurial activities like serving customers, strategizing, negotiating, these can't be accomplished from a purely animalistic consciousness. They require rising up to a more rarefied level of intellectual discernment and creative inspiration. And activating those higher faculties is key. But it goes beyond the mental realm. At the deepest level, okay, now hear me clearly here. At the deepest level, prospering stems from purpose-driven spiritual awareness. It's acting from your highest self, the part of you operating for the greatest good of all, in harmonious co-creation with the divine flow of life itself. And that existential shift in vibration attracts prosperity as a natural byproduct. If we could bottle that up and turn it into a MLM business, we'd be like, wow, that'd be the deal. Right? Now I'm not just being poetic or comical here. Some of the most pioneering thought leaders and entrepreneurs will straight up tell you their greatest achievements and fortunes come from tapping into a transcendent, unified field of awareness. It's the secret sauce.
Like secret sauce. I love secret sauce. So, for the wise wealth creators, accumulating riches is never the end goal itself. It's simply joyful evidence that they're living in resonance with the universal abundance and actively birthing their highest vision into form. The money is just a happy side effect of harnessing their true energetic potential. And that's a far cry from the egotistical, the fear-based wealth hoarding most of us have been conditioned into. That's, and that's all you hear about when it's actually a minority, right? But it's exactly the consciousness shift and evolution that allows you to prosper without attachment and use that flow for the greatest good. The path is clear. Evolve out of those base animal patterns holding you trapped in lack and expand into the unlimited human and beyond that you were coded for from birth. Embrace prosperity as a facilitator for activating and expressing the highest version of yourself. And once you tap into that frequency of creative source flow, money will joyfully flood in as a mere tool for amplifying your light. But the true reward lies in the indescribable bliss of living your fullest divine embodiment. So, who's ready to stop just surviving and start indulging in the abundant self that they were born to be? The path to higher consciousness awaits you. Just follow the signs that divine prosperity leaves for you. The breadcrumbs, they're all over. Keep showing up to these live streams. Join us in the upcoming masterclass and notice how your reality begins to transform. Or better yet, how it begins to evolve.
So let me give you a little peek onto what's in the master class, because I think it's a good time to kind of jump into that right now. Imagine rewiring your mind for wealth and abundance for so many years and realizing that you still aren't creating the type of abundance that you want to have. Right? Many of you are there, right? You've done the trainings, you've done the audio tapes, you've gone to the workshops and the retreats, right? Because rewiring your mind for wealth and abundance is so 2001, right? We're not there anymore. That's why you're not breaking through those barriers, why you're not getting past those glass ceilings, right? It's time for an upgrade with radical steps to ignite your business growth. Right? Yes, your mind is a powerful tool that you can use, but we've evolved as spiritually evolving life forces, right? What we call self, spiritually evolving life force. And yet, just about every business growth, personal development, and spiritual guru out there, right, keeps focusing on the outdated models of growth.
That's true.
A deeper, more profound influencer in the game of wealth, abundance, and freedom is your DNA blueprint. But no one's showing you how to influence that, or to systematically make a reprogramming at that level. Right? And we have the understanding and the technology to program or reprogram it. So why is no one teaching you? Why don't they? Because they don't know how. Right? So let's do it right this time and get you on the path of programming your DNA blueprint for prosperity in all areas of your life. And what we do is in the masterclass, as well as the infinity process and expanding beyond business mastery, in those programs, we borrow from the science of epigenetics, and we show you how to systematically and effectively begin to reprogram and influence your DNA gene expression. And you understand and you start to experience how your beliefs, your thoughts, and your emotions can and do shape your financial reality. And by reprogramming your DNA codes, you can create wealth attracting at the core that propels your business forward like it's never done before. So on this masterclass, right, you're going to start to discover these radical steps that will help you to think differently, to act decisively, and to achieve extraordinary results. So imagine a future where your financial freedom is your reality, where You've reprogrammed your DNA to attract wealth effortlessly and breaking free from all financial limitations. What would it mean? What would it mean to you to have a future where you've achieved true abundance, having identified and escaped the hidden traps that once held you back, allowing you to realize your full potential in every aspect of your life? You can absolutely have a life where inner peace and outer prosperity are the norm. As you master spiritual techniques that cultivate balance and prosperity mindset that translate into tangible business success. It's a unique and rare blend because it's time now. Wouldn't you agree? It's time for you to see yourself revolutionizing your DNA gene expression to create a wealth attracting outlook, thinking creatively and acting boldly for extraordinary business growth. So join us, right? Let us know. Hashtag get ignite or hashtag. Let's just do hashtag ignite. Take things to the next level of success. We will give you a heads up on how to register for that. Again, like I said, we're just waiting on some final details on the registration page to get finished, and then we'll be letting everyone know about it. But we will let you know first. So just hashtag ignite in the comments and get take things to the next level of success by transforming your perceptions into opportunities, shifting your perspective into to see potential in every challenge and opening doors to sustained wealth and success, right? Because now you're on your way to unlocking the prosperity code. Combining this live stream and the ones we've done leading up to this, right? If you haven't already begun to notice, right? You'll be moving from struggle, feeling trapped, powerless, worried, and uncertain into a new reality where every day you start by waking up with a sense of excitement and calm, knowing that your financial future is secure and abundant. You're effortlessly, you're effortlessly managing your finances, no longer burdened by stress or worry about money. And as you step out of bed, you feel a newfound sense of freedom and possibility, fully aware that the root causes of financial struggle are finally behind you. And those long-standing beliefs and conditioned programming that once held you back are no longer part of your life because you've unraveled years or even decades of false narratives and limiting beliefs about money, about wealth, about your self-worth. Instead of feeling guilty or shame around wealth, you embrace it with gratitude and you embrace it with confidence because you understand that money is a tool for creating value and enhancing your life and the others around you. All right. And if you're doing these practices, if you're doing the breath that we talked about earlier, you start to enjoy the fruits of your financial freedom. Maybe you're traveling to dream destinations. What's that? What is it like for you? Maybe you're experiencing new cultures and adventures. Maybe you're investing in your own personal growth. Maybe you're taking courses. Maybe you're hiring coaches that continue to ignite and elevate your success. Either way, you're living a life where you have the time and the resources to pursue your passions and your hobbies fully without any financial constraints. And this is not just a dream. This is the reality you can create. By activating your ignition factor, you continue learning how to uncover and release all the hidden blocks of your prosperity. You completely transform your financial destiny and you align your thoughts, your words, and your actions with flow of abundance. And the universe will respond in kind. You know you deserve it. You deserve a life, don't you? You deserve a life of true abundance. And with that right knowledge and that right mindset, it's entirely within your reach.
So, with all that, let me ask you a question. Can you see now how combining the activation of your DNA to attract unlimited money with the removal of all the things preventing you from having the true abundance, can you see how it's going to put you on the fast track to having the success that you've been missing out on? Can you do the abundance allowing breath to work on your connection that to the infinite flow of abundance? Can you do that? Because that doesn't cost you a thing. We just showed it to you for free. So can you do that? Do you have the will and the want to do that? That one little thing that we promise you will make a difference. So would it be all right if I shared something that we are in the process of putting together to help you fully turn on what we call the ignition factor? Catapulting your business with 6 radical steps. As Gary's mentioned a few times, in these last couple live streams, the details are almost ready, as we've said, they're almost done and such. And because the piece that we're waiting for to get put together is really the most awesome piece, because it's awesome when you see it. It really is. So what I can tell you is that we are putting together a masterclass with that exact title, and it will be approximately 2.5 hours long, maybe longer. We tend to run a little bit long, as you can witness today. But it takes a deep, deep dive into the 6 radical steps that will ultimately ignite and elevate your business success so you can have more money, abundance, and spirituality. Now, some people get turned off when we say business success. So I'll just take business out of that and I'll just say success. It can be your personal success. It can be your family success. It can be your relationship success. Because abundance comes in all different kinds of forms. All forms. You'd like to be on top of that list to be informed when we have everything set for registration. Just drop #Ignite in the comments, and we'll reach out through Messenger and direct messages, like we said before, and keep you. So keep an eye on your notifications, because we're going to keep you informed. It's just about ready. Because if you're not friends with either of us, then and you miss it, you need to drop that #Ignite, because the system will tell us when somebody does that. So that's really why we come up with these things, is because the Facebook algorithm can tell us, hey, somebody just put in #Ignite. Whether you're on a replay, or you're watching us live now, whatever the case may be. So that's why it's so important. And then we can respond to it, as soon as we possibly can. Okay, so the name of the masterclass is The Ignition Factor, Catapulting Your Business with 6 Radical Steps. And we're looking at doing the masterclass here very, very soon. And the next live stream is going to continue to build the momentum leading up to that. And with each live stream, we give you these pieces of the puzzle that are going to help you just move forward on one more step. Move forward one more step. We have 100 and some live streams already. Each one is just like this. It's a very teachable moment. And we constantly, this is our passion. This is our drive to help others grow and be better. So the next live stream is always on Thursdays. We always have something going on with the Infinite Experience Thursdays at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm. And the master class is going to be on a Thursday as well too, where
Correct.
again, if you do that hashtag ignite, then we will let you know of the upcoming. We don't want to leak it out just yet. We wanted to um, you know, again, get that piece that Ross talked about, that we want to get that done first, and then we will let everybody know.
Yeah,
And then you can register
it's
for it because it's
really
going to be pretty amazing.
it really is. It's really, really cool. It's kind of it's a programming piece. So the masterclass itself is put together. It's all the pieces of that. This is a technical issue that we're trying to not necessarily resolve. It's something that we wanted to add that will enhance your experience. And so bear with us, but this is going to be cool. It's going to be really cool. We're very excited.
All right, so we've gone a good amount of time over
Yes.
our regular hour today, but it's again a relevant topic, a timely topic, an important topic. I think in the minds of the general public is like how do you deal with the financial struggles that are going on that
Yeah,
people are experiencing, and how do you
exactly.
overcome those? And so we thought we'd take a little extra time and kind of go over that with you today.
Yeah,
So that's our live stream.
and part of
Go ahead, Russ.
part of what what Gary and I have talked we talk about this a lot is that you are being programmed by a lot of the media and such, and it's not the right kind of program. And we from day one 5 years ago, when we first started doing the live streams, we see that there's so much tension and anxiety basically in the public, and now it's gotten even worse. And especially now where no matter what country you're in, you're experiencing a lot of this inflation, and money is getting tighter and tighter and such.
Seems to be
It
for some
seems to be
people. Yeah.
getting tighter and tighter. Exactly. But it's not.
So
We're
that's our
not.
live stream for this week, everyone. Thank you for showing up, and more importantly, for participating actively in seeking solutions for bringing more wealth and abundance into your life. If you are chiming in here at the end, because I know some people you jump on it later, make sure you go back and catch the replay and watch the whole thing, because there's some really good stuff. There's a really great practice you can do that we taught in the middle there, that starts to change your energy and even the DNA of your DNA programming for a blueprint for abundance. So make sure you catch that replay and watch it fully and practice and participate. And before we go, I'd like to leave you with a dare, and that is, we dare you to be exceptional today, tomorrow, and every day after that. And the only way to do that is to implement what you learn and learn from what you implement. So that's our stream for this week. Thank you for being here. We look forward to seeing you here next week. Again, every Thursday, we've got something going on for you. So we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye. Be well, everyone.
Bye bye.